So this question might be a kind of whole passage question because we don't have a line reference, and it could be about all of passage 2, but it seems like it's asking about something specific, right? A thing that will have a specific line that says the answer. So for me, I look at question 47, and I look at the line reference, and I'm like, okay, can I use the chronology rule here to guide me? Now I know I'm in the second passage because it says, but 79 is pretty low down in the passage. There's a lot of text there. So here's the thing. Because it's the double passage and each individual passage is kind of short, I would not save this question for the end. I would just go ahead and do it. I would pretend it's a no line reference question and just assume that it is. And then if I can't find the answer before line 79, I would read more and see what's going on. But as you can see, I cut that part out, so spoiler alert, it's going to be in the lines that we would expect. This is a no line reference question. So let's make sure that before we start diving into this long chunk of text, we know what we're looking for in number 46. The author of passage 2 would most likely agree with which statement about the development of Teixobactin? Don't know how to pronounce it, don't care. So we also want to make sure we know what the author thinks, right? Because sometimes the author might quote other people, and I want to make sure it's the author's opinion, not other people. So let's see what we get. Many good antibiotic families, penicillin, streptomycin, tetracycline, come from soil fungi and bacteria, and it has long been suspected that if we could grow more types of bacteria from soil or from exotic environments such as deep oceans, then we might find new natural antibiotics. Okay, great. It's not really about that yet, but let's keep going. In a recent study, researchers Kim Lewis and others found that they could isolate and grow individual soil bacteria, including types that can't normally be grown in the laboratory, in soil itself, which supplies critical nutrients and minerals. Once the bacteria reached a critical mass, they could be transferred to the lab and their cultivation continued. This simple and elegant methodology is their most important finding to my mind, for it opens a gateway to cultivating a wealth of potentially antibiotic-producing bacteria that have never been grown before. So, okay, this whole thing is about new ways of making antibiotics. Cool. Dumb summary. Get something. The first new antibiotic that they found by this approach, Teixobactin, from a bacterium called, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, is less exciting to my mind. Less exciting. Not exciting. Though it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look bad. Teixobactin killed gram-positive bacteria such as S. aureus in the laboratory and cured experimental infection in mice. It also killed the tuberculosis bacterium, which is important because there isn't a real problem with resistant tuberculosis in the developing world. It was also difficult to select Teixobactin resistance. So it seems mostly negative. I don't really get it, but he seems to be complaining about this thing. So let's see what we get from these choices. Hopefully that helps me understand what's going on. So what would he agree with? It reveals that some antibiotics are effective against gram-negative bacteria. Oh no, this is a science-y question. Okay. Let's skip that. I don't understand it. I don't want to have to try. Let's see if we can get something from B. It shows that conventional methods can still yield new types of antibiotics. No, that's definitely wrong, right? Like, the whole point is that there's a new way and that this thing came from the new way. So, okay, good. I got rid of that one, at least from my limited understanding. It casts doubt on the practicality of searching for new antibiotics in exotic environments. Well, not really. I mean, here's the exotic environments piece. Many good antibiotics come from soil, fungi, and bacteria, and it has long been suspected that if we could grow more types of bacteria from soil or from exotic environments such as deep oceans, then we might find new natural antibiotics. And they're trying to do that, and they did that. It casts doubt on the practicality of searching for new antibiotics. Well, no, it's saying that they did it. That's how they did it, is they made like a soil sample. So I know that it's negative, what he's saying about this thing, but he's not saying it's negative. Like, he's saying that Teixobactin is negative in certain ways. It's not living up to its expectations, but he's not saying the method of finding it was bad. So I'd be pretty confident in that one too. I just didn't read that. D, it confirms a long-held belief about a potential source of new antibiotics. Well, confirms is a strong word. Long-held belief is a strong word. But remember, that's what this first paragraph was about. The first new antibiotic that they found by this approach, this new approach, which they talked about in the previous paragraph, Teixobactin from a bacterium called whatever, is less exciting to my mind, though it doesn't look so bad. It doesn't look bad. So they have a new approach. He's talking about that for a while. They found, using this new approach, Teixobactin. That seems like a confirmation that the new approach works. And is it long held? It has long been suspected, right? So if I didn't have the passage, choice D would be a choice I'm very suspicious of. It has a lot of strong words that make me very, very nervous. Confirms, long held. Those are words that in most contexts on the SAT are very bad. But a strong word is not always wrong. A strong word is just a word that we need to look to prove. And in this case, both of those strong phrases come out of the lines. We can prove them with the text that we read. So D is the answer here. As far as this thing, it reveals that some antibiotics are effective against gram-negative bacteria. Okay, I mean, he's talking about gram-positive bacteria. I really don't even know what that means. I don't see gram-negative anywhere. So to me, that wouldn't be a good sign. Like, I'd want to see something about that. It's saying the opposite, I guess. The fact that I don't understand that is not a good sign, right? Sometimes we're confused and it's because we don't understand the lines. Other times it's confused because a choice just makes no sense. And that's okay. That's why we don't get all worked up when we're confused about something. We just accept it temporarily and we think, okay, if it's important, it'll work itself out and I'll figure it out. And if it's not important, then it won't matter. It's not important here. I got the answer using the stuff I did understand, and that's more than enough.